Hello, everyone. Hopefully you guys can hear me and see me okay. Waiting to pop on here. Hey, guys. So today we're going to be doing a live stream. I got some fan mail I'm going to open. I want to talk about the Spider-Man short fan film. I'm really excited about that. And, of course, we're having a baby girl on the way. And it's been a while since I've done a live stream. I figured this would be a good time to catch up since it's some pretty big news. Talk about kind of what the plan is and just see what you guys wanted to talk about. So it's been a good day so far, and just wanted to say hey to everyone. Riley, how's it going, man? I'm gonna bring this over here so I can actually see. Riley and Rudy, LBM, Zach, Hayden, John Mark, the Lord from the Philippines. How's it going? Punisher, great question. Since we've already announced the pregnancy, we have filmed the first. I don't know if I'm allowed to say. I don't know. I think I'm allowed to say. Don't worry about it. We're working on Punisher. Gabriel, hey man, how's it going? Hope you guys are all doing okay. Hayden, good to see you, man. You've been here for a while. Riley, yeah, as I mentioned in the brief little mini intro that I did, I'm going to be doing a live stream talking about Baby and Spider-Man short film. If anybody's really interested in that, I'm interested in it. I really want to do it, and we're making some good headway as far as crowdfunding goes. We're like, let me see where we're at now. Last I saw, we were at like 9 or 10%. I think we're a little higher now. We're at 13% now. So if you're unaware, I'm working on a Spider-Man short film. Very excited to do that. We've already filmed one scene, and we're going to be doing some previs in a couple weeks for a couple other ones. I'm going to put it on here on the link if you guys are curious. I'll pin that so y'all can see it. When will we hear the baby name? Not for a while. We're between a couple right now. We haven't fully decided. Sorry, guys, I have to look at my face here. But very excited about baby girl coming. Austin, how's it going, man? Thank you for that super chat. How's it going, Holden? I don't think I've been present for one of your live streams before. Well, today's the day, man. Glad that you're here. I usually just I try to like answer all the comments and as I can. Sometimes if the stream gets too cluttered, I definitely try to make sure I hit all the super chats, but usually starting off it'll be kind of slow, and I don't know, what is it, Thursday night? I don't know if people are even going to be tuning in for that kind of thing. Joseph, don't be doing too much with the Spider-Man fan film. I don't think we're going to be doing too much. I think I've always tried to keep it fairly manageable, and I write my scripts to be able to remove things if it's too complicated or too complex. So everything that we have scripted out is all very doable. And I'm hoping that, I can use the Star Wars fan film that we did to kind of showcase what I can do just self-funding it. So actually having a real budget would be absolutely wonderful. But thank you so much, Austin Post, for that super chat, man. I appreciate that. Feel free to ask me any question. I'll do my best to answer what I can. Hi, everyone. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Would you ever watch series Only Murders in the Building? I have seen it on Hulu, but I have not seen it. Are you gonna watch Peacemaker tonight? We haven't watched Peacemaker. I've seen a little bit of the first the first season, but I have not sat down and watched it. Oh wow! Thank you so much. $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Daniel. Daniel San, Karate Kid. Okay, I can't say anything. Good name. Big fan, brother. What are your thoughts on James Gunn being big, talking out of his butt and promoting degeneracy in his new show, telling everybody to go watch his show when kids watch Superman? To be honest with you, I'm a little torn on that. I actually mentioned that, I think, in my Superman review, because Peacemaker makes an appearance in Superman. On the one hand, I think that it might actually be a benefit to DC in that they can have like kind of a wider range of content, some for kids or appropriate for kids like Superman, and then some for like a more mature audience like adults that want to watch that kind of thing. But I do worry about kids not, if they see Peacemaker in the Superman movie, they're naturally going to want to watch the HBO Max show if it pops up. But at the same time, it is the responsibility of the parents to make sure they monitor what their kids are watching or are aware of the content of what they're watching. So I wouldn't fully blame James Gunn for that. But I'm not aware of him telling kids to go watch that. Um, but I don't think he did, but I don't know for sure. But if he told kids to do that, then I wouldn't like that. But that's kind of my thoughts on it. I'm not against him having like a mature superhero thing, so long as it's clear that they're distinctive. And then you have to have, of course, tales all the time. Make sure as a parent you're monitoring what your kids are consuming. Anyway, thank you for that super chat, Daniel San. I haven't seen Peacemaker yet. I saw the movies, the Suicide Squad movie where he was in. I thought it was funny, but yeah, definitely not kid appropriate. I'm so excited for the short film. Thank you. I love the live streams. I would love more of them if possible. And how's the fam doing? We're all doing good. Well, thank you so much, man. Yeah, I wanted to do a couple live streams last week, and just didn't get around to it. I finally have a little bit of time tonight, and so wanted to hop on here. But thank you so much. Any plans to watch Alien Earth, Kevin? I would love to. I kind of wanted to watch it just on my own time because it's just one of those things I don't know how well we do on the channel, but I have not gotten around to it. Mac Jarvis, thank you so much for that $4.99 super chat. No question or anything. Oh yeah, Mac. I see. My son sent you a blank super chat. Well, thank you, Mac's son. I appreciate that. Is that my Mac? Is that the Mac that's working on Spider-Man with me? I don't know if I know your last name, Mac. If that is you. Yeah, we have a couple people working on Spider-Man. That might be my Mac. Are you interested in the new Avatar movie? Oh yeah, I am. I actually really enjoy the James Cameron Avatar movies. I think they're easy to hate on. They're easy to pick on, but I do really like them. So I'm excited for it. Yeah, that's our Mac. Mac Jarvis is working on the Spider-Man short films, plural, with me and Tyler. He's been doing a great job, doing a lot of promotional material. I actually hit him up today to help me with some storyboarding of specific scenes from it. So that's Mac in the chat, guys. Well, thank you to your son for the super chat. I appreciate it. Sending love from Toronto. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. What are you guys' thoughts on the Wolverine video game trailer that dropped? Eric, hey, Holden, appreciate you on your vids. Thank you for just being you. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I do my best to be me. Hope everything going okay with all you guys for the time being. I know it's been the world's a little crazy right now. Hopefully you guys are all pushing through and being okay. I just hope the story will be good. Yeah, that's as far as the Spider-Man thing, that is my primary goal, to make sure it's a good story. I do want good visuals, but that is the center of it. It's a double-edged sword because with fan films, there's usually a limit to what you can do, and so you almost have to focus more on the story doing it that way. But then you get people who, I had one comment who was like, oh great, another actionless Spider-Man fan film. And I was like, dang it, that's a good point. So we're making sure that we're having, that it's also visually appealing. There's going to be some action sequences and some, VFX sequences that should look really good on top of complementing the story. I'm pretty hyped for Wolverine. Insomniac has crushed it with Spider-Man. No reason to doubt them now. Trailer looks pretty awesome in my opinion. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I didn't watch the whole trailer. I had somebody suggest that I react to the trailer. I didn't get a chance to, but I was watching like a little bit of clips and little clips and things that show up on TikTok and stuff, and it's looking really good. It feels like it looks very similar to how the Spider-Man games look, just with Wolverine and a different setting. But I am really excited for it. After you reach your goal and do filming, when can we expect a trailer for your fan film Spider-Man? That really depends. So the plan right now is like the crowdfunding will end in either late October or early November. We're working on it now currently. I said earlier that we actually had filmed a scene for it already. So once once we raise the funds, we're going to be working on the visual, like the VFX portion immediately, because that usually takes the longest. When I did Spider-Man, when I did Star Wars, that's what was the longest, like the longest holdup was the visual effects. So we're going to get started with the visual effects, pretty much on both fan films, and get those in process. And then we're not actually going to film it, like film all the plates and everything, and film the bulk of it until probably December, January. And so around that time, we'll be filming it and working on it. My baby will be here for over a month at that point, and I can dedicate a good chunk of time to just doing that. And so I don't want to give you a specific date, but as far as like a trailer, maybe like a little teaser, probably around like March-ish, or we might knock it out way sooner. But I'm in my head, just so I make sure I have enough time to work on everything and make sure it's all looking good. I'm trying to plan for like a summer 2026. And remember, we're working on 2, so it's not just one. I'm primarily focusing on 1 just for the crowdfunding, just to not convolute it, but we're actually doing 2. So can we see the suit? Yeah, so great question. We're having a custom suit being made right now. It takes like 5 months to make it. So a month ago, before we even did the crowdfunding, Tyler, our Spider-Man, went ahead and out of his pocket paid for 1 suit. So we're in the hole for that. But part of the crowdfunding is actually to give us a couple suits so that we can have a battle damage suit, a regular suit, and a couple other things that we need for the stories. So the suit is currently being made, but we went ahead and had a CG 3D model of the suit concept made, and that was what we used for our little Spider-Man swinging sequence that I posted on my Instagram. So we used that for that. The promotional image of Spider-Man in the rain from John Romita Jr., that's our suit that we created that. And if you haven't seen that, I linked the Indiegogo to the top there if you'd like to see it, so you can see that image. It's like a promotional image we made. That's the suit. That it's the real suit is gonna look a little different, and once we actually get it, I'm gonna be doing a 3D scan of it. I have this little 3D scanner thing. It's cool. I don't know if you can see that here. This little 3D scanner, and so Tyler will stand in a T-pose, and I'll go around his body, and we'll get a full scan of him in the suit, and so we'll have a direct 1-to-1 3D model for swinging sequences and digital doubles and things like that. But yeah, if you want to check out the suit, there's a link up there, and that promotional image of him in the rain is the suit we're going to be using, or is a concept suit. The real suit's not going to look much different. Trying to get Tyler in the chat right now. That'd be awesome. Nice. Any teases on villains or anything? Well, it is based on an actual comic book. I'm taking I say this because I usually hate it when I see it happen, but there are some creative liberties that we're taking just to make it a little bit more action-packed and a little bit more visually interesting. But it's based on a comic, Sensational Spider-Man, Volume 2, issue number 40. It's a condensed, kind of single-issue thing. So much of it depends on how much is raised, because if we raise shy of what we're trying to do, there's going to be things that are going to have to be cut, and it's just, the final product we're going to get is potentially to get criticized because it wasn't more action-packed or, spectacle. But if we can raise beyond that, we could do even more. We could make the story last longer. We could, when I wrote mine, Tyler wrote a short film that we're going to be producing too. But mine, I always write with the intent of removing things that can be removed. If you ever watched The Abyss by James Cameron, that scene where it's like the digital, like the water creature comes up, he wrote that scene specifically to be removed because if he couldn't get it to be visually the way that he wanted to, it wouldn't have ruined the whole thing. And so I kind of have to do that just like with like the limited means and budget that we have. Anyway, all that to say, I'm trying to make it manageable, trying to make it doable for me, make it action-packed, make it interesting. I'm trying to present things that have not always been seen in Spider-Man, Spider-Man media and the movies and other fan films. I want something a little uniquer, something that can be ours. And so, that people may or may not like that, but we'll see. It'll be mine at the end of the day, no matter what. I'll have made it. So fingers crossed we can actually raise that money. Tyler Gillette. I hear you're making a Spider-Man film. Here's some help for that. Thank you, Tyler. Tyler was just talking about how we're in the hole for the Spider-Man suit already. You're sending $4.99. Well, thank you so much. Any anime reaction series besides the Patreon? I think Jen would really love some. Yeah, so we're doing a couple more Patreon movies because when we were in Japan, I had actually done like an intro for Spirited Away that we hadn't done. So Jen actually mentioned to me today she wanted to do Spirited Away. Now, normally we were going to do all anime exclusively on Patreon, but I think because Spirited Away is like the first real introduction of like Western anime and movies, it like won an Academy Award at the time in like 2001 or something like that. It's like what most non-anime fans can think of. They'll think of like Dragon Ball Z or like Spirited Away. So that one we might do like an edited version on the channel. The problem with anime too is that we just get like it's so easy to get copyrighted. Like they don't play with that, and so that's always why I've been kind of hesitant about that. Daniel San, thank you so much. Congrats to the new Hardman family member. Yeah, cannot wait to meet her. Also, it's not an origin story, is it? No, come on, origin story. We hit the ground running. I'll say that. You can read the synopsis on the Indiegogo. Like I linked it there, so if you'd like to just see, it depends on how much you like want to be spoiled. You know what's going to happen there, but yes. Will you guys ever watch Game of Thrones? The thing is that Jen and I have already seen a couple seasons of Game of Thrones. It's sort of a Walking Dead problem, where it's like, do we start it over? Do we begin again? Or do we start filming like right when we dropped off? So I don't know. If there's enough like desire for it. What's $5 more? Honestly, just take my soul for the film at this point. Hilarious. You got to explain to us the reasoning for no Punisher. Just be patient. I can't say anything. I can't say any more. Yeah. Okay. Any more video gameplay coming soon? Yeah, I hope so. So we're in the middle of doing backlog for when baby gets here. We did the same thing with Hero, and we filmed a ton. We filmed a ton of movies in preparation for it. And one of the things, and a TV show. But one of the things I wanted to do was Halo 2. Because I love doing Halo 1 on the channel. It didn't perform all that great. Like the first video did like okay, and the last video did like okay. But if nothing else, they were just fun to do with Jen. They don't take too long to edit. I kind of cut out just like some fluff of us like, figuring out where to go or stuff like that. But so they don't take too terribly long for me to put together. So yeah, I would love to do Halo 2. We have like a whole schedule of things that need to be filmed right now and leading up to November. And we'll have to film the second season of that TV show we were in the middle of. But if we can finish that on time, yes, we will be doing Halo 2. Now, that's a big if. I don't like to say that kind of thing because I feel like, I'll let you down if it doesn't get done. But right now, according to plan, according to schedule, and assuming that Jen is, comfortable, we're in the, mid half of the third trimester. We're no longer like standing up to do our intro and outros. I've been filming the last couple, like just in the chairs. It's getting harder for her to move. So it really just depends, not only if we can do everything we're planning to do, but also if she's just like up for it. She's been doing a great job, during this pregnancy, especially with everything that's happened. So she's really been a champ. Are you going to reveal, Jen, the Comic-Con Doctor Doom reveal footage? No. I don't know if that will get spoiled for her. Jen's not in the circles that we're in as far as like the nerdy culture, so there's a good chance that she'll, if she doesn't go looking for it, she won't see it unless you just get a jerk in the comments that'll spoil it. Are you into Star Trek? Good question. Man, thank you for that super chat. Oh, man, there's some things I want to say about that. Be patient. Be patient. It's coming. We'll get to Star Trek. If you're just asking generally, am I into Star Trek? Yes and no. I'm not as like well versed in my Star Trek lore and knowledge as I am like Star Wars. But I do like it. Jen and I both watched Deep Space Nine prior to like meeting each other, so I thought that was interesting. And I watched Babylon 5. Hi Holden, I remember you mentioned you play Pokemon Go. Would you consider adding people as friends on there? I understand. If not, you must be busy. To be honest, I go in like waves with Pokemon Go. I'm going to pull it up right now because I'll share my friend code if you'd like. So, but to be honest, I'm not as active on there. I got like when I got the e-bike, if you saw the e-bike video we did, I got the phone mount because I wanted to play Pokemon Go. I got to update it, see how long it's been. But I'll usually it'll be like a couple months. I won't play, and then I'll start playing again, and I'll play pretty consistently for like a couple weeks. Then I'll kind of die off, But yeah, I'll see if I can pull up my friend code. We need a Passion of the Christ react after these past few weeks. Yeah, amen to that, brother. It's been it's. How are you guys doing? Everyone's mental health okay? Everyone doing all right? It's been a heck of a month or so now for multitude of reasons. I hope you're all doing okay, hanging in there. I'm trying to keep busy, just kind of keep my eyes on what's important in life, and I hope you guys do the same. I'll send you gifts from Canada. Thank you. One thing I've been kind of getting irritated with Pokemon Go is that like my bag keeps getting full, and like I have to get rid of like hundreds of Pokeballs and things like that. It's getting tedious, and that's kind of honestly taking like some of the joy away, because I can't just go out and couch Pokemon. I have to like get rid of Pokemon or pay to increase the size of my bag, which is minuscule anyways, or increase my Pokemon holding capacity. I don't know why I'm stuttering so much right now. Would you ever watch the movies like Braveheart? Yes, I think that's it. We have not filmed Braveheart yet, but it is on our list to do. And I have not watched it all the way through, so it would actually be a reaction for both of us. All right, sorry, I'm working on getting my friend code. I had to update it. This is my friend code for Pokemon Go. I'm pulling up here. Add friend. Okay, so this is me. Feel free to add me. And again, full disclosure, I am not all that active on here. Yep. 610-129-8609. Yep. So feel free to add me on there. Super Daniel San, thank you so much for that super chat. So solo leveling reaction coming soon, or Naruto? Thoughts on Marvel's state? To be honest, I'm fearful it will die off like Star Wars. Mando and Grogu looks bad. I haven't seen the trailer for Mando and Grogu yet. Thank you for that super chat, Daniel San. I appreciate that. Solo leveling reactions or Naruto. Not what you mean. I'm not sure what you mean by solo leveling reactions, but no plans on Naruto right now, just because it's so lengthy. But as far as the state of Marvel right now, I'm feeling a little more hopeful, just in that they're producing more quality movies lately. Brave New World was like fine, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't top tier. It was like mid-level Marvel. If it came out in like phase 2 or 3, I think we all would have been like, okay, yeah, that was okay, yeah, that was good, it was cool. Would have liked to have seen more Red Hulk and Sam's Cap do stuff, but I think everyone kind of said that. But it was fine. Thunderbolts I thought was great, but the damage had already been done to Marvel's reputation at that point because of phase 5. And then I really liked Fantastic Four: First Steps. So, but Fantastic Four fell off in the second week at the box office, and not as many fans watched Thunderbolts. Even diehards weren't tuning in for that one as much. So if you're losing diehards, that says something. Casual fans, it's like, people who aren't like us that watch reaction videos and are looking up Easter eggs and all that kind of stuff. But I think that, if nothing else, even if it's not reaching like the levels it did before Endgame, as long as they're making like quality movies that we can like be like, hey, I really enjoyed that. I wish more people would hop back on the Marvel train. So I am hopeful in that regard. Star Wars is not looking as good, because they're not learning their lessons. Like, I don't know what they're doing. But I don't know. I want them to clean up their act. But you know what? That may not be true. This other super chat says, "Hey, Holden, plans to finish Andor. Andor season 1 was great. I really liked it a lot. It was definitely a different like feel and flow that we normally get from Star Wars stuff, but I really did like it. I have not seen season 2. We struggle with TV shows on the channel, to be honest with you guys, just like in terms of us being able to do them. Like, we watched all of Dexter Resurrection, and I only put the full-length reactions on Patreon. Because like the prospect of watching those, and we've done TV shows that don't perform well, and so 2 episodes equates to about a movie. A movie takes about 3 times as long as the movie is to edit it. So if it's a 2-hour movie, it takes 6 hours to edit. So a TV show that's not performing well, we're doing an episode or 2 per video. Nobody's caring. We could be doing movies instead that people actually want to see, and or if we pay an editor, and some of them I'll edit myself as well, but we'll pay an editor to kind of ease that editing burden. So, it's me, him, and one other editor that might be working at any particular time. And so if the video doesn't perform well and I paid an editor, I've actually in the hole. I lose money on that, and I can't really be doing that if this is my livelihood. So there's a lot of reasons for that. So as far as, but I'm still also hopeful, because if I was just like, you know what, I'm not even going to worry about TV shows, I would have watched Andor season 2 now as it is. But I'm kind of like, no, we'll put it off. We'll hold off on that. Same thing with Punisher. We'll hold off on that. We'll watch it, when the time comes. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that once we're finished with our backlog stuff for when babies comes, we've been doubling up on everything, that we'll have time to just watch, even casually in our bedroom, some of these TV shows. If nothing else, upload the full-length reactions on Patreon for those of you that are curious about it. Can watch the whole thing. Or if it's, might do well, then we can edit them. But, TV shows have always been difficult and kind of a gamble. $10 super chat. Thank you so much, JM. I appreciate that a lot. Holden, congrats again on baby girl. Thank you. Happy for you and your family. Also, have you or Jen seen True Lies with Arnold Schwarzenegger off channel? No. I don't know if Jen has. I would be surprised if she did, but I have definitely not seen it. Yeah, I'm familiar with it. Like I've seen the picture of him with the gun on the poster, but no, I have not. I have not seen it. I think I do remember a VFX breakdown of the there's like a bridge or something and a truck, and the bridge gets blown up. I think it's from that movie. I did see that. But thank you for that super chat, man. I appreciate that a lot. Praying for your baby progress. Thank you so much. It's been a roller coaster, this pregnancy. Jen's been doing great. How she's handled all that. Does Jen know Punisher's in the next Spider-Man movie? Does she know he was introduced as a Spidey villain? I don't know. I don't think she knows that he was introduced as a Spider-Man villain. But I'm not sure if she's aware he's going to be in the next movie. I hope so. Maybe Sony would actually listen to the fans and give us the Spider-Man 4 and Amazing Spider-Man 3. Yeah, I saw that thing about the writer of the Batman wanting to reach out to Sam Raimi. That's one of those things you got to be careful. That's like fluff journalism, hardly. The guy might have just offhandedly mentioned, like, yeah, I'd love to talk to him about it, but it's not up to Sam Raimi, if that movie gets made. It's up to Sony. So, I don't know. Maybe the idea is like they could get together and like pitch it to Sony. I would be there for sure. I was able to catch Spider-Man 2.1 in theaters with Jeremy, and I love seeing that thing. It just re-solidifies how much I love that movie. New here to the live stream. Well, thank you for being here, DJ Plays Favorites. Appreciate that. A pair of friends had their first son 2 months ago. Awesome. I love that. I love my little boy. Hi, I'm Lance. I love your content. Keep up the great work and content. Thank you so much, Lance. I appreciate that. Unpopular opinion, Andrew Garfield, the best. It wasn't an unpopular opinion when he was Spider-Man. There's usually like a flow, like whenever there's a new actor that plays a role and like the movie's not half bad, that person is usually like, oh, this is clearly the best iteration of this character that's ever been. Tobey Maguire was that way. When Andrew Garfield came on for Amazing Spider-Man 1, people were saying the same thing. When Tom Holland was in Civil War, like the introduction of Spider-Man to the MCU, my volume's kind of low. Let me see if I can raise it. People were saying the same thing. And I was getting flack because I was like, we've only seen him for 15 minutes. People are saying he's like the best. How's this? Is this any better? I don't know why it's been kind of low lately. I tried to increase the gain. Let me know if that helped at all. But either way, I like Andrew Garfield too. Ever going to react with your wife to the 2003 Hulk movie? Would love to see it. Yeah, I would love to do that one. We didn't do it at the time. We were doing like non-MCU movies, and that's one that we need to go back and watch. Mic volume any better now? Let me know. New super chat, Daniel San. What's your thoughts on Holly Weird destroying masculine characters and demonizing masculinity when we need strong and good male figures like Jesus? I got to be careful. I got to be careful with this one. Yeah, I mean, who was it that said not so long ago? Let me see if I can find. There was. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can find what she said, because I kind of agreed with this. Let's see here. I'm trying to see who said it. There was some actress that said that it seems like Hollywood praises masculinity in women and femininity in men. I'm just personally just more of a traditional man. Like I like to provide and I like to take care of my family. That's very much my character, my personality. I yeah. So it's not shocking to me. It's not surprising to me at all. How Hollywood and pop culture. So I could never move to LA. I just wouldn't fit in. But it doesn't surprise me. I do agree. I agree with it on some in some ways. I remember that Hollywood might be predominantly like one, like a certain type of influence. But there are movies that are made that aren't by like the mainstream like Hollywood-esque people. So I don't know if I'd say it's the whole thing, but yeah. As far as strong, good male figures, I definitely agree with that. I think that there are, like, whenever they show like fathers or like dads, the stereotype is typically like he's kind of a klutzy, goofy, like any type of sitcom with like a dad like that is never like emboldened. The last one I could think of is from Good Sheldon, which I don't watch, or Young Sheldon, which I don't watch. I remember there was a scene where this guy was coming over and he was like trying to get the girl or something to go with him, and Sheldon's dad, I guess, like interjects. He's like, she's not going with you. And then that was like, even though I don't watch the show, I saw that clip, and that was like the first time I've ever seen like just a man being like acting like a man, like a family father figure, just like being like no, like, and being that kind of presence. And I definitely think that we need more of that, like that type of thing encouraged. Again, this is just my personal opinion. I'm not, downing it if you're not like that, but that's just my opinion. Let's see here. Hopefully that's politically neutral enough to answer it for you. How hard is it to try and reunite the full crew for a reaction video? I have tried several times recently. We did one video with Matt a couple weeks ago. It's for backlog, though, so you're not going to be seeing it for a while. And we were able to get Prime for that. So me, Matt, and Prime got together. I tried getting Jeremy. He just couldn't make it. Even filming with just Matt is somewhat difficult right now. And he's got a couple of things going on right now as well. We're trying to do that. We need more traditional men. Yeah, I don't think there would be harm in having a little bit more of that. Is that good? Is that everyone cool with that? Is that all right? Red Foreman is a great TV dad. That's a good point. Red Foreman, he might have been a little too far on I think that there's a balance. Because he had his moments too. He had some good like parenting moments, but he was kind of more of like a jerk, a lot to his kid. Like I would never treat my son the way that he treated Eric, a lot of the time, even if he needed to like kind of clear up. But yeah, he definitely, for what he lacked in his gentle tact, that is probably all Eric needed. Not always. He made up for in following through. Red Foreman. Hey Holden, how you doing, man? I'm doing good. How are you? Let me know how. Let me see if the volume any better. Oh yeah, okay. Backwoods Gameplay says yes, it's better. Thanks. Okay, good. Just making sure that I don't know why the audio is going in and out. And don't forget to check out my Spider-Man short film. I linked the Indiegogo in the pinned it. We're at 13% right now, which is incredible, guys. Let me know if you have any questions on that. That's kind of where my focus is going to be come like November, December. Probably December, January. That's all I'm going to be doing. So many old sitcom dads were masculine, but horrible people who had a couple of emotional moments people cling on to. You know who was a great TV dad was Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince. That was a good TV dad, man. I think Tim Taylor was a good TV dad. Tim Taylor was a little bit... So Jen and I, we just started watching Home Improvement when it first came out on Netflix. I had never seen it before. He's a little... I do like him as a character, but he's definitely even though it's kind of a buzzword, he's definitely like misogynistic. But part of the charm of that show is that he's proven wrong, so he'll say something that, women can, men can do things that women can't do. And that, if you were to play that today, because we have no function, we have no media literacy anymore, they would go, oh, look how awful that is. Even though the episode itself is about Jill clearly proving that he's wrong on that particular area, so yeah, I like Tim Taylor, but he's definitely he definitely needs to work on himself. Who doesn't? Also, would do a fan mail. Oh yeah, fan mail. Thank you. Yeah. So I asked in the last live stream if I love getting fan mail. This isn't like buy me something. I would get like people that would do artwork or things like that, or letters, and send them in. I love getting that kind of stuff. I'm not, I have not always replied with like a letter in kind. I do sometimes what I can, but if nothing else, I do love getting them and I do read them. So I only got one this time. No, this is definitely eerie. This is what I got in the mail. Creepy horror short films. Not suspicious at all. I'm probably not going to put this into my computer. All right, and it came with a letter. Let's see. When's Matt going to be on the channel again? Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. I don't always read letters whenever I do get them on live stream, just because they can be sometimes personal. P.O. Box is in the description. Yeah, it's in the description of every video, actually. So I'm just going to give me just a second, and I'll summarize this for you. Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much. You didn't sign your name. But so he said that he's a DIY filmmaker. These are his own short films that he's made. He filmed with a cheap camera to give them a gritty, not clean look and feel, made for those who still believe in the power of film and physical media. Feel free to keep this DVD for your collection or future program. Well, yeah, thank you, man. I'll check those out. I appreciate that. Always love to see a fellow amateur filmmaker. The only thing I would say is I wouldn't probably film on a cheap older camera unless you had to get that film grainy look. I would probably go and film it in the highest quality possible and then adjust it to get the look that you're wanting. Because if you film it on the cheap camera that's a low quality, like a 480p or less, you'll never have the choice or the option to upscale it higher, or if your vision changes and you want to do something else with that footage, you're stuck. So that's why I would suggest filming in the best quality possible, and then in post trying to make it look. Now, this is just my personal opinion and my reasoning for it. You obviously don't need to. It's not gospel, but that's just my 2 cents on that. But yeah, I'll check it out. He tossed Matt away. Matt's gone. No, not at all. I've tried getting together with Matt and I. We actually filmed a couple weeks ago, but it's for a backlog video, so you won't be seeing it for a while. But yeah, Matt's been busy. He's got a couple things going on in his personal life too. He just can't break away from. And I've been trying to help him out with that as best I can. But yeah, hopefully we'll be able to at some point down the line. I'm definitely constantly pestering him about it. Daniel-san, say it with your chest, Holden. Jesus didn't give any crap what things were said of him. I hate that Kathleen Kennedy destroyed Luke's character and definitely didn't like or how much of a wuss Superman is in this movie. You're just not holding back, Daniel-san. Well, I love Jesus, man. Jesus is king. Praise him. Yeah, how about that? Yeah, I never shy away from that. Somebody asked me earlier what my Christian channel was called. I actually have 2 videos that I'm wanting to release in October that are kind of horror themed for that channel. But yeah, anyway, aside from that, Kathleen Kennedy destroyed Luke's character. Well, I don't know if Kathleen Kennedy definitely signed off on it, but it was definitely Rian Johnson's idea in Star Wars 8. So that was his pitch to Kathleen Kennedy. So she signed off on it, but it was his idea. It's a little bit of shared responsibility there. I really tried, man, to like the alternate like Luke that they were doing. I was trying to be like open-minded about it and being like, you know what? This is what I expected Luke to be. They're subverting my expectations. Pop culture Christian, thank you. They're subverting my expectations. So, let me just try and just embrace what I'm given. And I just still can't really do it, especially when I think it was Mandalorian season 2 where we see Luke take the X-Wing, and he comes and he's just destroys it. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, no, this is really what I wanted. You know, I don't want to be just like spoon-fed fan service, but I definitely think that was a fumble on their part. I don't think Superman was a wuss, really. I think I am one of the people that said that he made he seemed like a weaker Superman, and I still maintain that. People were pointing out that he was like flying near a black hole and was able to get away, and and various other things. But there definitely is like a lack of like presence that he has in comparison to some of the other Superman that we've seen. So I do think with that, I don't think that equates to like wuss. I think that in my positive spin, it's room to like grow and become that like physical presence. Subverting expectations, more like character assassination. Oh no. Love from South Africa. Well, thank you so much, man. Characters have definitely been destroyed. So am I, Holden. I'm bugging Matt to redo Star Wars with proper sound. Yeah, I would actually love to redo the Star Wars movies with Matt. You know, I don't know how well that would do. Jen and I, we redid all of them only on Patreon. They're edited. They were like Patreon exclusive. So we rewatched all of Star Wars with Jen over there like a year or two ago, and there wasn't as much interest in that. I thought that it would be kind of interesting to see how her opinion of Star Wars had changed, having watched Rebels and Clone Wars and things like that, and watched all of them and going back and kind of starting over again. I thought that might be kind of a cool angle to see, but you're not going to get as many people interested in watching like the second time around. But anyway, I wouldn't mind doing that with Matt, especially after all this time. Can you believe it's been 6 years this month since we did the Matt watches every Star Wars movie for the first time? Somebody made me aware of that. I thought that was crazy. I heard that the next Superman movie will be more serious and less comic booky, so there's that, and that's coming from James Gunn. You're never going to make everyone happy, no matter what you do. And when I critique a movie, you got to keep in mind that like I'm not the final say on authority of who Superman is or shouldn't be. I think it's fair to like give your opinion about what you would have liked to have seen, what you don't like, and that's kind of where I was. I was like, I even I don't know how many times I say it. I liked the movie. I didn't really like the Superman's parents being evil, and people were like, well, they're not really evil. They're however you want to frame it. Them being telling him to take over the planet or having a harem of women or whatever. I didn't really care for that. A couple other things, like technical things. I didn't like the way flight looked. James Gunn has this way of doing it, like where it's like on a wide angle lens, and they're like, flying like this, and you can see the he does that, and every time he does flying things, I don't think it looks good. Just my opinion. A couple other like small, like no nitpicky things, not enough to like take my enjoyment away. It's not my favorite Superman movie, but it is a good flick. I hate that everything has to be all or nothing. It's either the best Superman interpretation, what we've been missing our entire lives, or it's absolute trash. It's the worst Superman adaptation ever. We got to grow up a little bit, guys. It's okay to have variations of critique and things. There's a lot about Man of Steel I liked. I have people saying that I was like a Zack Snyder fanboy. You go back and you watch my Man of Steel video that I did with Matt. People were so mad about my critiques of that movie. They said like I hated it, and like I was harsher on Man of Steel than I was on this Superman 2025. But dang it, the action was way better. And that's a minuscule thing. What does action mean if the story is not as good? Superman 2025 might have had better things going for it than Zack Snyder. So again, it's all just opinion. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. I like Lex Luthor. I know Nicholas, what is his name? Nicholas Hoult, something like that. He's a good actor. I've seen him in other things. I'm not totally sold on him. Like, I think he's a good Lex Luthor. I'm probably going to need some more time to like really believe him that is Lex Luthor, I guess. I don't care for the Joss Whedon cut for JL. Yeah. I definitely prefer the 4-hour Snyder version of it, but it is unapologetically Zack Snyder, and I think Superman 2025 is unapologetically James Gunn. And there's nothing wrong with either of those. And with that comes positives and negatives. You also mentioned you were going to do the TMNT movies. Yes. Well, I wanted to do. You know how I'm crowdfunding Spider-Man? The pen comment up in the chat right now, guys. I wanted to actually crowdfund a Turtles thing. We did like pre-visualizations for it already. I'd be working with Tyler Adams on that, and we had like a long Zoom call talking about it and talking about the technicalities of doing that, because we wanted to do CG turtles in a realistic environment, and how much it would take and how much work it would be, how much money we would need to be able to do that, and I just don't know if that was as feasible. I feel like I would be able to produce a Spider-Man short film a little bit quicker right now, but anyway, I was holding off on doing those TMNT movies because if I was going to crowdfund it, I wanted to promote it on doing those videos. I felt like that made a lot of sense for me. But because I'm doing this now, I'm like, well, do I want to hold off on doing the Turtles, or do I want to still try and go that route down the line? And this will be a good kind of test to see if I'm actually able to be successful with crowdfunding. I want to see the Batman 2. That was Baby Batman, his second year as Batman. People say that, but the Dark Knight Batman was like a year 2 Batman as well. But how would you even do Turtles? Practical or CGI? CGI. We did like a 4-minute teaser that we scripted out and shot and did some Turtle VFX in there. And I thought it looked good. I'm able to do, I've learned a lot like as filmmaking now, so I can do HDRIs, which is high dynamic range imaging. And all that means is that like if I'm filming in a realistic place, I take a series of photos with my 360 camera at various light exposures. And so all that means is that when we put a CG character in that environment, the lighting values are exact. They're perfect. So we don't have to like figure out how lighting is. We're able to use real world lighting data to light our CG characters. And that's a huge thing. And I was pretty happy with some of like the test footage, and then we were like, maybe we'll just do the whole thing CGI. There's some benefits to that, as well. But anyway, it's a whole process, and I would still love to do it, but we'd have to have the right story. We'd have to be able to feasibly do it, and we'd have to have money for that for sure. Like with Spider-Man, there are things I can cut. If we were to try to crowdfund Turtles and we only raise like 10%, I don't know. I would not feel good taking people's money at that point and being able to produce garbage. You know what I mean? And there's more of a risk with Turtles than there is for something like Spider-Man, because I can wiggle around with Spider-Man quite a bit. Hopefully that makes sense. Daniel San, could you do once a week live streams talking about DC, Marvel, Star Wars? I've been wanting to do more. Really, a lot of it just comes down to time. But anyway, thank you so much, Daniel San, for another super chat. It's very generous of you. I appreciate that a lot. But yeah, if we can do more, I would definitely love to do more. Somebody talking about my kids. You think you'd need voices for the potential TMNT? I'd love to participate as a voice. Yeah, if we were to get to that point, yes. We would use real actors as reference, and we were looking into motion capture suits, which would be the easiest way to do it, as opposed to keyframing every single movement. So we were like, well, we could get one for like $8,000. So they were like, maybe we'll just focus on one turtle. I wanted to do the Last Ronin. That's what I pitched. I was like, we could do Last Ronin. It's 5 comics. It's a condensed story. It's extremely popular right now. It's dark and gritty. We're focusing on one turtle primarily, so we don't have to do 4 CG characters, and that's kind of what I pitched. And then, the guy Tyler, who would be doing it with me, pitched doing more of like a 90s style turtle thing. He grew up with those turtles and really loved that, and I really love them too. And so it's kind of one of those beggars can't be choosers thing. I need that help to make it. So I was like, honestly, I'd be happy with making anything. So if we want to do a 90s turtle style, campy, cheesy thing, I'd be up for that too. Yeah, and I heard somebody saying there's going to be a Last Ronin soon. We could do it first, or do like a segment of it. And I would love to do that. I kind of like filming the dark, gritty, like darker kind of stuff. It's fun to film. and fun to do. So anyway, love the day in the life vlogs, Holden. Thank you so much, Joseph. I appreciate that. They're fun to do. We don't do them all that often. I'll probably be doing a little bit more when baby gets here because we're not going to be filming movies. We have a backlog prepped for that, so you shouldn't see any change in content level. But as far as in real time, we won't be filming anything. So I'll have more time on my hand. I'll have a very significant life event, and so why not make some more vlog style stuff like that? Have you stumbled across the Smallville podcast? Yeah, a little bit. I never watched a lot of Smallville. My friend Gus loved it and raved about it all the time. I always felt it was a little bit of Dawson's Creek meets Superman. But yeah, I have seen a couple of them talking about that, and I really enjoy that just from their perspective working on a popular TV show. They'll talk about Tom Welling running and how long, what that felt like, and a couple of scenes that they thought were silly, or they talk about problems on set and here's how they overcame them. And as George Lucas says, there's always circumstances for when you're making a movie. Nothing ever goes according to plan, and I've learned that too, even in my amateurish level. That things don't always go according to plan, and audiences don't care. That's the other thing; they really don't care. We're a very privileged time to be watching and consuming content. We can pick and choose however many streaming services, with or without ads. It's a lot of a buffet style, and so if your thing is not perfect in every way, people will not be happy with it. Or will will criticize you very, very much. And that's kind of one of those things about just being a creative person in general, or a creative, whether you're making art or artwork, or you like making comics or movies or whatever, that consumers and critics, they don't understand what it takes to make art and what you do. And so I think that's one of the reasons that I'm typically pretty forgiving about movies. I think as far as online movie critics, there's definitely more money to be made in being so negative and saying mean, negative things creatively, that make people laugh and poke fun at it. And I'm just, for one thing, that's just not really my character. But the other thing too is that it's hard, man. It's hard to, I can't even imagine working on a real movie set. It's hard to make a movie, period, point blank, period. It's even harder to make a good movie. And so I'm a little bit more forgiving. Now that's not a blanket, get out of jail free card. If the story itself sucks, or if there's, but a lot of times I'm more forgiving, I think, than your average creative like that. If that makes sense. I feel like I'm going on a little rambling tangent. Sorry, guys. Holden's take on Power Rangers. If you ever did a fan film on them, I don't know if I could handle a 3-minute power. 3-minute power. I have tried making a Power Ranger short film. I'm telling you guys, I'm always trying to make something. So I was talking with Steve Cardenas, the red Mighty Morphin Power Ranger, and I got his number. We were texting, and I was pitching him a Power Rangers thing, and he was kind of interested in that. And again, I'm selectively popular on one segment and one niche on YouTube. I'm still really a nobody in terms of, approaching somebody like that. So I get rejected a lot. People don't even respond to me. That's just the nature of the business. But yeah, so I pitched him this thing. I had a treatment for him, and he actually sent me a script of his own, and I kind of talked, I read it, and I went through kind of my thoughts on it, and kind of went back and forth. I was kind of blown off, to be gentle about it, and totally not no beef, no problem at all. I totally understand. But I was trying to do that. I tried reaching out to Blake Foster. He's really about his Power Rangers, is his identity. He was the blue Turbo Ranger, Justin the Kid, Nobody liked Turbo. It kind of fell off around that point for a lot of people, but I liked the Turbo movie anyway. But I was it might be cool to have him come back as an adult, and we could film it professionally. And he always talks about his experience working on Turbo and how it's so integral into who he is and his so I tried reaching out to him and never got a response. And anyway, man, any opportunity come. If any of you guys are millionaires, man, just I'll do it. I'll make your movie. I don't even have to take I'll need to make a little bit because I got a family, but whatever you want, man, I'll make whatever. I'll make commercials. I don't care at this point, man. I'll make anything. Holden, I'm about to bail. So before I go, will you watch Ben 10 and Big O? Ben 10. I remember when Ben 10 came out, man. I was still watching Cartoon. I was phasing out of Cartoon Network around the time that first premiered. I don't know if it's it might be my thing now. I don't know, but I remember like, I was. I might give it a chance now. I've not seen The Long Walk. I like Samurai Space and others. Yeah, I really was in. I really watched Mighty Morphin. Obviously, I kind of miss Zeo. My mom wouldn't let me watch Power Rangers anyway, so my parents were divorced like everyone else, and so I'd go to my dad's house and watch Power Rangers there, but my mom's house I wouldn't. So I missed like Zeo. I remember getting into like a 4th grade argument with the kid, and I was like, for some reason I thought Zeo came first, and I was like, Zeo came first because I watched Mighty Morphin. And he's like, no, man, Zeo came after Mighty Morphin, and we got in a whole like tiff about it. I was wrong, but watched a lot of Mighty Morphin. I watched the Turbo movie. I think I caught like a few episodes of Turbo, but I really watched Galaxy and Power Rangers in Space. My dad got me like VHS tapes of that, so I watched a lot of that. And then a little bit of Lightspeed Rescue. By the way, the yellow Lightspeed Rescue Ranger, her husband is a guy named Eli Craig. He directed Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. He directed Clown in a Cornfield. I was actually talking to him because I wanted to interview him for Tucker and Dale when we did the Tucker and Dale reaction. He said he would. I followed up. I'm ghosted. That's how it goes. But yeah, I love that he, like the Yellow Ranger's husband, directed Tucker and Dale. Anyway, super chat here. Adam Gregory, thank you so much. $10 super chat. Appreciate that a lot. Hey, Holden, do you think you could maybe do a reaction to a Haunted House 1 and 2 with Matt and Jen? They parody both Paranormal Activity and Sinister, would make light of experience Matt had. Yeah. I actually was playing a couple clips for Jen last night from a Haunted House 2. It wasn't a big spoiler. There was just like a really funny scene I wanted her to see. I don't know how well they would do. You know, I hate that like he came back and did Haunted House 1 and 2, especially since there's obviously a lot of inspiration from the Scary movies, but they just didn't perform as well. So I saw a Haunted House 2 before I saw a Haunted House 1, and I remember thinking it was absolutely hilarious. But yeah, so I would love to do those. We'll have to see. Tucker and Dale was amazing. Yes, I absolutely love that one. What do you guys do for work? We make videos. We make videos. Why do you guys lie about watching movies for the first time? We don't. Yeah, I mean, Jen, I've said it before, like in other videos too, is that you're only seeing movies that Jen hasn't seen. So there's been various movies, like we've talked about, like Inception, Interstellar. The reason we never did Interstellar is because Jen's seen it. But it's true, she hasn't seen a lot of those. And if you actually watch the movies that I will watch or that we'll watch together that neither of us have seen, I have like a big gap in like my 90s movies. So we'll see those. But yeah, no lying here. And there's no, I mean, I'll present you the same evidence that you presented me for lying, and that's nuh-uh. $5 super chat. Thank you so much. What is something you really want to watch on the channel that you haven't yet? You're the best reaction YouTube out there. Keep up the work, brother. Well, thank you so much. I don't feel like that. I feel like we watch so much like ourselves that I think people are so used to like, oh, you know, like crazy reactions and doing stuff. When we'll even get people criticize us that are like, you know, we're just like sitting there watching kind of blankly. And so we'll try to like, I don't want to say we'll like try to turn it up, but we're like definitely aware that we're on camera, you know, watching stuff. So I don't know. But anyway, thank you so much for that super chat. As far as anything I want to watch on the channel that we haven't yet, well, I really want to do Halo 2. That's not so much a movie, I guess, as it is I want to play that game. There's a couple popular movies I wouldn't mind watching too. Why is the sound so low? I don't know. My mic's been giving me... Here, I'm going to try and change one thing on here. I just upped the gain earlier. Is that worse or better? Let me know. Test. Testing 1, 2, 3. It looks worse on my end. There's a little bit of lag, so I'll react when I actually see it on my end. Like, we know you're such a big movie nerd. You're such a bunch of stuff. Pretend to forget. Actually, I'm pretty forgetful. To be humble or for the views. It's high key annoying. Well, sorry. Sorry you feel that way. Other reactions. Worse. Okay. Switching back over. Hope it's okay. I got rid of that guy. I don't like doing that, but I'm not seeing anything constructive. Okay. Never mind. I take it back. It was good before. All right. I'll try and talk a little bit more into it. Generally speaking, I usually hate. I don't like removing people. I even when I get comments like on videos that like really roast what an opinion of mine. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen. The Superman movie reaction actually is probably a good example of that. I typically don't remove them. I think that you have the right to criticize my opinion and stuff. So I really only remove comments or do anything like that when it's like personal attack kind of thing, or if it's not edifying. Like I'm totally good with like having conversation and being like, yeah, well here's, or having my mind changed. I'm like, am I the only person on the internet that's like, you can actually change my mind if you present me with good stuff? But yeah, just the personal attacks and rage baiting, which I think that guy was. Jacob Lemmet. I didn't read all of his messages, Jacob Lundbeck, but I just saw he was just being provocative and provoking. And now he's getting what we want because we're just all talking about that, Anyway, let's move on, guys. What do you say? James Holden, it's great to see you, brother. I've been on a rewatch binge and can't get enough of both Horrible Bosses. Well, howdy, partner. Yeah, so good. Those are so funny, man. I always wonder if people ever go back and watch those, like if there's a specific movie, that we've done like hundreds now. Like, can you believe that? I feel like, man, I wonder if Holden and Jen have watched Tropic Thunder or something, and you search Tropic Thunder. I wonder if people do that. Because I can kind of see the variation of like comments, or like every once in a while I'll see a comment from like an older video, and I like seeing that. That's cool to see for me on my end. I don't know. People say that you are one of my top 3 movie film YouTube channel. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I want to make movies, man. I want to. I was actually talking to Tyler, who's in the chat right now, about a particular scene from the Spider-Man short, and he's usually my go-to guy for those types of VFX shots. And so we're going to try and film a previs in a week or two for this particular thing. We're not going to do any special effects for it yet, but just like basically, is this sufficient? Is this executable? If not, what do we need to do to modify for when we actually film the thing? So we're definitely in like a major pre-production phase right now. Yeah. I think I've rewatched the Blade and Star Wars ones. Matt reactions and comments are priceless. Yeah, it'll be 6 years this month that we posted Matt watching Star Wars. Isn't that so cool? I have not seen Roadhouse. Superman fans are proven to have the worst fan base. I actually think it's still Star Wars. Joel, don't worry. We're still on the stream, buddy. Another super chat. Thank you so much. As a fellow brother in Christ, I'm super grateful and inspired by you and how you share your faith unashamed, and it's not overbearing. Well, thanks. I appreciate that. It's always a little, you never talk about politics, religion, and, it is a part of who I am. I mean, it just is. But I'm also sympathetic to people who don't feel like having, God or religion shoved down people's throats. So I'm sympathetic to that. I don't always get the same courtesy, like if it comes up just in context of a movie. Like I want to do Book of Eli with Jen, and it's going to come up. The whole movie is about, the Bible, but there's a line between like talking about it respectfully and like proselytizing. And so my proselytizing, if you will even call it that, is more on the pop culture Christian channel that I do. But I always get kind of annoyed when it is like in context. I don't feel overbearing when I talk about it. Everyone's allowed to speak their truth, but I can't mention that kind of thing. And I think it's a vocal minority. I think most people, whether they're religious or atheists or not, don't really care, But yeah, I'm not ashamed at all. I love Jesus, How can you not love Jesus? That's kind of my question. So great. Anyway, King of Kings. Edu Morales for Uncle Ben. Thank you. We shot a flashback scene with Uncle Ben already for the Spider-Man short film because there's no, I was able to do it just by myself. Or I was able to do it with just him. We didn't need a whole lot of visual effects. It was just a scene that could be shot, so we went ahead and shot it. And so we did just a small, like it's going to be like a 2-second clip of. It'll make sense in continuity, but of Uncle Ben was there. Have I seen Passion of the Christ? Of course. I'm not religious, but huge Jesus fan. Good. Samesies. I'm not overbearing, don't worry. Yeah, well, thanks. Appreciate it. Swifties take the cake for me. Oh, as far as fan base, I didn't know if you meant overbearing or overbearing or dang it, I'm drawing a blank. You know what I mean. Or a bad fan base. Yeah, Swifties for bad fan base. They are pretty rough. My biggest complaint with the new Spider-Man movies, no Uncle Ben. I agree with that. They've kind of moved on. Nobody really cares anymore. Unfortunately, it feels like. Because Uncle Ben is just so integral to who Peter Parker is, his motivation for being Spider-Man. And I remember critiquing Homecoming. And people, and again, every time a new Spider-Man movie or a new actor comes in, this is the best iteration of Spider-Man we've ever had, Homecoming. And I was like, no, it's not. I liked it a lot, but it's not the best. I remember bringing up the Uncle Ben thing, and people were jumping on me about my opinion on that. Far From Home comes out, it was like, we're getting better, but it's still not. He's still Iron Boy Jr. He doesn't have his own identity yet. He's not. This is the best Spider-Man movie that's ever seen. Holden, how could you think anything different? You're just blinded by nostalgia. It's not. No Way Home, I loved the ending. Like, where Peter is in that movie is where Spider-Man should be. That's why I'm so excited for Brand New Day, because like they have set him up perfectly. He had to make the sacrifice of losing MJ after like they admit their love for each other and all that. Everyone has forgotten who he is, including his aunt, including Happy. He's in this dingy little apartment. Like, the stakes are real. And he's finally like into his own person. Like, yes, now he can be Spider-Man. And at least we get the with great power thing. And I know that came from Aunt May. But yeah, for the longest time, people were like really crapping on me for my thoughts on Homecoming. I was like, he's not Spider-Man yet. He's not really Spider-Man. And I maintain that. I never wavered. And I think more people agree with me that. You don't have to agree with me on that, but I think more people kind of see that now. I have seen OG Ben-Hur or the Ten Commandments with Charlton Heston. I've seen them so many times. It's a fun fact that Jen has actually seen the Ten Commandments, the Charlton Heston one, the 4-hour-long Charlton Heston cut. So that's one we won't be doing on the channel. I saw the Ben-Hur remake, and I did like that one. We need some more horror movies for October. We're going to be doing a couple Halloween appropriate. Ghostbusters I'm posting tomorrow. It's already on Patreon if you want to check it out. But yeah, Ghostbusters we're starting tomorrow. I was supposed to do it today, but the burden of having sponsored content is that the sponsor has to approve the video. And it's also why Fantastic Four was posted Tuesday instead of Saturday when it was supposed to have been posted. No shade to them, but they threw off my schedule because I usually post videos yesterday, and they didn't approve it by then. And they approved it later today. So I was like, I'm not going to post it at 2 p.m. my time. I always post kind of in the morning. No Way Home is the best story. Can't wait for Spider-Man 4. I'm really looking forward to it as well. Such an odd trilogy, Tom Holland's. Yeah, it really is. I really enjoyed Far From Home. The Mysterio stuff I thought was really, really good. I like that. He's still like, I mean, even just not having him in New York, felt odd. But yeah, some interesting creative choices. He's a great Spider-Man. I've really grown to love him as Spider-Man, but I did not start that way. I did not watch the game trailer in full, but I've seen clips of it, and I'm really excited to try it out. I love Insomniac's work on the Spider-Man games. So I'm super stoked to finally play that one. I don't play games a whole lot anymore, but when there's a game that I'm like particularly interested in, Wolverine will be one. I will set aside time and make sure I get to play that. Do we know anything about the plot of this new Spider-Man? Well, Brand New Day was a comic that was universally hated. I don't think they're going exactly that route. But I don't know how much, if any, they're sticking to that, or if they're just taking the title alone, or if it's like loosely related to the comic run. But I don't know much. Would you ever play games on the channel like playthroughs? Yeah, I've done one of the first like video series I ever did. I played through Legacy of Goku 2 and I played through Boost Fury. You go back to the archive like 10, 11 years ago, I think it's on there. It may not be that long, but it was a while ago. But yeah, so I did those. I did the 2001 Spider-Man game, which I loved. And I played Enter Electro, which I had never played prior to doing the video. I don't think it's as good as the first one. Far From Home was a step up in Peter's character and motivations. I can agree with that. Patiently waiting for your Superman and Lois reaction one day. One day. Holden, as a longtime viewer, my newborn and I have been watching your content the last 18 months, and he loves your intros and outros. Hope they never get changed. Well, thank you so much. It's funny you say that because we've been talking about doing a new intro for a while. I had actually had Devin started working on a new intro about a year ago, and his hard drive broke or something and lost all his progress. So we've been stuck with the same one for forever. I've actually thought about getting rid of the intro in its entirety. Intros are starting to become a little bit more outdated. Everyone has kind of TikTok brain, so they just want to start the video right away. The rule of thumb used to be never make your intro longer than 10 seconds because 10 seconds is when you double tap your phone. If you're watching that, it skips 10-second increments so they can skip right away. And also, people just don't want to see the same thing. So I have been debating removing the intro, but we'll see if that happens or not. I think I took it out of. I think I removed it in Fantastic Four as kind of like a trial run, just hit the ground running. But yeah, so these are things that we think about always. Somebody asked a good question. Let me see if I can find it here. Holden, how old are you? I'm 32. 32 years old. Tombstone and Scorpion are in the next Spider-Man movie. I'd actually be really curious to see Scorpion. I think he was teased in one of the Spider-Man movies. There's like a dude with like a scorpion tattoo or something. But I'd be curious to see him in a movie. I love the comment of the day. Thank you so much. Those are always fun to do. Devin does a lot of good graphics and stuff too. When I edit them, I'm finding myself trying to match Devin's style and how he edits them, using a clip from the movie and having some fun with that. I like the intro, but maybe you should get rid of it. Yeah, I mean, maybe it is time to retire it. I don't know. Have you seen the Carpenter's Son trailer? No, I have not. Isn't that with Nicolas Cage? It's about Jesus, of course. Carpenter's Son. Yeah. Maybe it's not about Jesus. Or even worse, maybe it is. I don't know. Either way, I haven't seen the trailer for it. I think your intro is small and efficient enough that it doesn't really matter. Turned 39 yesterday, Tyler. My man. Holding off on watching your F4 reactions. I haven't seen it yet. Made that mistake with Heretic. Watched that with my girlfriend the day after and wish I had seen it before I watched you guys. Well, yeah, I'm not trying to plug Patreon too much, but you can watch, if you want to watch the Fantastic Four vicariously in full with us, I don't know if that's a cool experience or not, but it's on Patreon. Even if you don't want to get a membership, I totally understand that. You can just buy access to just that if you wanted. Again, I'm not offended either way, but I don't know if that would add or detract because you're both watching the movie and maybe watching us too. I don't know. Just curious, what was your job before YouTube? That's a good question. Jen and I, my last job, Jen and I actually worked at a hospital together. We both worked in the finance department. My job was screening patients that didn't have health insurance, and I would determine if they qualified for any type of assistance, like Medicaid, Medicare, things called HICRA, which are kind of county assistance programs, various things like that. And if they did qualify, I would apply on their behalf. So I'd become a designated representative of that patient and pursue getting them coverage so that they wouldn't go bankrupt. And Jen and I did. Jen was the assistant, basically the assistant supervisor of that department, which is, we worked together for years prior to us, getting together or anything. So we worked very closely, very closely for a long time. And then prior to that, I worked for about 5 years, not consecutively, but about 5 years as a behavioral technician. My degree is in psychology, so that was a mistake, but a waste of time and money. But I worked 5 years doing that, and I basically just I worked at a psychiatric facility, mostly with adults, but I spent about a year working with adolescents, kids up to 17, but as young as like 4 or 5, and that was my job for a while. And what I really enjoyed doing that, but it was just I couldn't live on it anymore, and I just got tired of just struggling constantly so much, and it was getting I was getting just kind of burnt out with it, and I really wanted to go into film school, and I had convinced myself that there just was no money in doing that. And I have a buddy, his name is Josh Kirkland. He went to film school, and he'll post things on Instagram and doing some independent films, but he's like met like Luke Wilson and has like a picture with him, and I'm like, oh, I should have gone to film school instead of trying to crowdfund my piddly little projects. But general rule of thumb too is that film school is not an end all be all. Even for like insiders that work on movies, it's not a guarantee that you're even as competent as somebody who like worked their way up from a PA and on. Sam Raimi never went to film school, for example. Finally caught a stream. Hey, Artemis. Such a big fan. Hope all is going well with Jen and the baby. All good on our end right now. Do you like the Narnia films? Yeah, I really loved Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. I remember liking Prince Caspian, and I never watched Voyage of the Dawn Treader in full. But I love Narnia. When Hero was a newborn, I would read The Magician's Nephew to him as I rocked him to bed. So I'd like read a chapter a day for him. So yeah, I love Narnia. Just got off work. Nick, how's it going, man? Good to see you again. Just got off work, stopping to say congrats on all the recent announcements. My guy, you're a goat. Thank you. I appreciate that. I try to goat it up. Any advice for hitting 30? Just turned 28, 2 kids, full-time dad and job. Just life feels tiring and exhausting. I hear you, man. I don't know how much more life advice I can give. I'm only 2 years older. But you're doing a great job, man. I love dad life. I love my wife. I love being like working every day to be a better husband, support for her, being a father. I love spending time with the kids. It's something like I sincerely like enjoy. And so I know I'm not saying this is you at all. I don't know you, but I know for a lot of dads, men that have children, there's a part of them that like doesn't go all in, and like loving their kids and like spending time with the kids. Like I just love being a dad. I love spending time with my son and doing things and experiencing things with him. And so if you haven't already, just try and kill any remaining narcissism or selfishness that you have. Usually if you're not a complete narcissist, when you have kids, that will kind of naturally kill that part of you, when it's time to grow up, and, but if you're not already totally in, that would be my big thing just in life. And again, we talked about this a little bit earlier in the stream, but I'm kind of more of a traditional in the sense of like, I enjoy being a provider, and I enjoy being the man of the house. I enjoy being a father figure. I'm not their mom, I'm their father, and I think that those are kind of distinguishable roles. They're both equally important, but they're distinguishable in their execution. And I like that. I like being that way. So part of that means that you come last in everything. My wife needs to be taken care of before I do anything. The kids need to be taken care of before I do anything. And I do believe that, and I don't think that's controversial, is it? It's kind of to each their own thing. It may not be, what do we say? Everything is relative now. That might be good for you, but not for me, but that's how I feel about that. So if life is tiring and exhausting, make sure you're having some, I don't know what your relationship is with your wife or what that situation is in your life, but I have tried to work on just being kind of more honest about where I'm at, mentally. If I'm just like, look, I really just need a break. I can't, kids are having a meltdown. I'm stressed about money or, XYZ, whatever. And being like, can I go hang out with the guys, or I just need to take a break and play some video games, or whatever it is you need to do. Don't make that your whole life, but like be honest about where you are mentally and take those breaks as needed, because your family's going to suffer if you're not taking care of yourself. And again, that's something that I have learned and been learning as well. I'm hecka young. Well, thanks. Amen to more traditional men. Yeah, I don't think it would hurt to have a little bit more of that in the world, personally. You should take the whole family to see Spider-Man 4 when it comes out. Yeah, maybe. I would love to have taken Hero to see Spider-Man 2.1 when that was out there. I couldn't take Fox, otherwise I would have taken him. But yeah, that's going to be something to look forward to. Oh, you know what? I got another piece of advice. This is really important. Is don't postpone joy. I see a lot of people who are like, I can't wait for my son to build Lego sets with him, which I can't wait for that. I can't wait to be able to take him to the movies. I can't wait to play video games with him. And I think that you might be robbing kind of the moment in that. Like when Hero's newborn, I am all in on newborn. And I take the advice of other people very serious, like people that I respect seriously. And one thing that I hear is constant advice is it goes by fast. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to keep that in mind. And so when he was a newborn, he would be waking up in the middle of the night. I'd go up there and I would just kind of soak that in. Even if I was like exhausted, even if like I can't get him to stop crying, I know my character and who I am that like I will miss this, even if I don't miss it in the moment, even if it's stressing me out in the moment. And so don't postpone joy. Enjoy where he's at right now. My son he's 2 now. He can kind of run around and he can start to get into stuff a little bit more. And I'm just loving it. I can give him channeled chaos. I can kind of give him an area to be chaotic and everything. There's this parenting coach that shows up sometimes, and she was like, give him an area that is fully baby proof, so you don't have to tell him no all the time. And I like that advice. So he doesn't always feel like I'm telling him no or taking things away. So yeah, don't postpone joy. And when it comes to babies specifically, they're not giving you a hard time. They're having a hard time. And that's easier to think when they're a little older and they can kind of verbalize like they're having a nightmare or something, or they wet the bed and they didn't mean to, those kind of things, the things that kind of fall on you and you're like, oh gosh, come on, give me a break. Babies, they don't like even sensory things. It's all new to them. Everything is new. They're crying. They're scared. They don't really know you, if it's a newborn. And so they're not giving you a hard time. It's not personal. This is the time for you to be able to come in and be that rock for them, especially if you're I'm not going to say especially, but well, maybe I will, especially if you're the father. You need to be the rock for your family. Yeah. Controversial yet? Are we getting there? Anyway, I'm going too long on these things. Sorry, guys. We're not even talking movies or Spider-Man or whatever. I guess we're talking about the baby. Too many people are too self-involved nowadays. I do agree with that. We have a culture that rewards that. And I sometimes question, like, I hope I don't feed into that in like YouTube and, it's in the title, YouTube. It's me on TV, or me, people loving me. Look at all my numbers. Look at my subscriber count. I don't think it's ever gone to my head. I feel like my friend group is too honest with me and blunt with me to really let that happen. But yeah, anybody that's like, I want to get into YouTube because I want to be famous or I want followers or whatever. I was making videos for, 14 people would watch, not even watch them. That would just be a view count, but they'd click right off, for years before I had a hit, So and I would always say this too, when I was talking to, when I've talked about like YouTube as like a job, is that whether you have 5, 50, 500, 5,000, 500,000, or 5 million people watching your video, do it because you love it. And I still stand by that today. And I think I am, a testament to that. That's what I was doing. I'm living out what I was doing. And even as like views wax and wane over time, I'm still trying to make them fun and engaging and do new things and feed that creative itch that I get sometimes. Anyway, y'all ready to move on? What do y'all want to what do y'all want to talk about? Oh man. The early comedy skits, man. Pensacola Dad was, oh, yeah. Nick Mayfield. Yeah, that's one thing I would love to do more of is skits. Like skits and just like little intro thing. Jen and I, we did, I think the first one we did in a while was the Twilight skit we did for when we did the Twilight movies. God, those were so funny, man. Those were so fun and so funny. It's harder to do them like right now. Like we've been filming, but we've been filming backlog as well. So our movie content load has been doubled or tripled lately. So we haven't, like, we just really need the time to do them, you know, and we just haven't had the time to do it. Are you planning on watching one battle after another? I feel like I'm the only person that thought it was just okay. I think Jeremy went to see it, but I don't have any plans currently to watch it. There was that other one he did. What was it? It had like Native Americans in it. It was like 3.5 hours long or something. I never saw that one either. So I'm getting behind on my Leo movies. I think Leo is getting a little bit too much. He's been in the spotlight for maybe not the best reasons lately, so he's kind of falling from grace a little bit. But like I haven't been like rushing to go see his movies. I wouldn't not see them, but they haven't been a priority for me, I guess. I love the restaurant reviews you did. We were gonna like revitalize that and bring it back. Jen and I, we were starting to do like the 10, like kind of an updated version, like the new 5 or 10 best new restaurants in the area. So we filmed one. We actually started it. We filmed one, and they're expensive because we actually have to go to restaurants and like buy what could be expensive food. So we were trying to like be kind of wise about that. But yeah, I would love to do that. And we still have that Pensacola documentary that has been on hold since Jen was pregnant with Hero. And I just got to sit down and edit that. And there are a couple other things I wanted to add to it. But yeah, all these things are kind of in the works. Somebody asked a good question here. I just want to see if I missed about next Friday. We film next Friday. Devin is actually working on it now. I don't know. He usually gets them done pretty quickly. Your proposal video is not in a playlist. Other videos are missing as well. I love Jen's reaction. Which playlist are you talking about? I am not always the best about the playlist thing. I have missed movies that should be like in there. I don't know how like popular playlists are. You gotta let me know. Like, I don't usually watch playlists personally. Like, I don't find like a playlist of things, like maybe like an album or something that has them like built in, but I don't usually do that with like visual content. I'll kind of watch a video and then kind of go to pick the next one. So let me know if that's, but I know some people do. I just don't know like how much value is in there. Daredevil Born Again Season 2 and Punisher Special Presentation are supposed to come out in spring 2026. Looking forward to Daredevil Season 2 for sure. Still holding out hope for a Toy Horror Story 2. Yeah, man, nobody watched the first one. I was so disheartened. We actually worked pretty hard on that one. Devin did the VFX of him running, and oh man, that was fun. But it's so hard to justify when it takes so long to produce and then nobody cares. Such as the story of YouTube, I suppose. But yeah, I was actually disappointed. Nobody liked that one, or nobody cared for it. I appreciate you talking about that one because nobody ever talks about those videos. I like playlists. Okay, backwoods gameplay. Are you still interested in doing modern music reviews? Yeah, I'm not opposed to it. The only downside is copyright. Like, we can't play a ton of the music like itself to like demonstrate. I know Jen would really shine in that regard. She's definitely the music person between the two of us. That's a case like where things could be flipped. She could show me albums for the first time, and I wouldn't have any clue. Are you going to react to Wicked Part 2? We missed reacting to Wicked Part 1. We meant to do it. Jen was going to do it with Natalie, actually. Or like I think the three of us were going to do it together, and we just couldn't line up schedule. And then Jen and I were like, okay, maybe we just we'll do it. But it's so friggin' long for one thing. But yeah, and then I think we missed the hype train for it. And then I was like, yeah, 2 hours, 40 minutes. We missed the hype train for it. And I was like, well, I'm not losing sleep over not seeing it, I love the first two Narnia movies, but I never knew Aslan was supposed to be Jesus until very recently. Yeah, well, it's not the most subtle of allegory, But yeah, definitely is a Jesus allegory. I mean, Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe is like blatantly like the point of the crucifixion, you know. And he Liam Neeson as Aslan. Oh my gosh, so good. And his banger line meme today: "Do not cite the what does he say? Don't cite the old magic to me, which I was there when it was written." I love it. So good. What happened to Jen and Natalie watching Harry Potter? Well, Natalie just had her baby, and then it's always kind of scheduling thing. But yeah, they were going to watch more of that, and hopefully when, well, we're about to have our baby too, so it might be a while before they pick that back up again. But hopefully they will be able to. We have tried to do it. We've done it. I did a Discord server once, Backwoods Gameplay, and I didn't know how to moderate it. I didn't know anything like that. And one night, this is old channel Holden Lore. It was like 1 a.m, and for some reason I was awake, and the Discord got hit. I don't know what it was. It must have been bots or something, but it just kept getting hit with like pornography, just like all these like porno pictures, just just showing up and hit. I didn't know how to stop that. I didn't, because I think they were coming from like different accounts. I didn't know what to do about that, and so I'm watching this happen at like 1 a.m. Like I don't know who did that, and so I ended up just like deleting the whole Discord at that point, and so yeah, Holden lore. And then Prime actually set up a new one that is currently active. I'll share it to you now. It's again, it's not like the most active thing in the world. I'm bringing up Discord now, but some people do talk on it sometimes, and but there is one. I'll send you the link for it once I pull this up. Quick super chat here. Holden, trust me. View-wise, you got to do Wicked Part 1 and 2. Do Wicked Part 1 when Part 2 releases end in November. Trust me, your views will be high. Well, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. That was kind of my thought process, too. Like, when a sequel comes out and we haven't seen the first one, it's usually a good idea to, like, hop on that. So, there's, we still might end up doing that. How long have you known your friends, and where did you meet them? I met Matt at the hospital. We worked together, not in the same department. He saw some of my local Pensacola videos and saw me walking around the hospital and then approached me like a psychopath. And I was doing more like local skits kind of at the time, and I needed like a muscle head to play a part, and he expressed interest in wanting to do videos with me, so I brought him in for that, and we've kind of been friends since then. It's funny, I think I had 700 subscribers at the time. I was doing a lot of like local videos, and doing that at like a decent quality level, not the best, but like at a decent quality level locally. I actually got recognized a lot more than I do now when I had 700 subscribers, because I became popular in a local sense, because I would make fun of like local politics or like local things that like everyone is aware of, and like this building that everyone passes by, every single day. I'll make fun of that. I did one recently. I don't think I posted on the main channel, but I posted it like on Instagram or something, making fun of our Florida Power and Light, like our electric provider, because they've been screwing people over, and so I make fun of them. I was pretending to be a representative from Florida Power and Light, and then I was being like, look at our new features that we're doing, and I was acting like it was this great thing, and it was really all horrible stuff, all true, but like horrible things, and people like that. So if you wanted to get popular without having to be 1 million subscribers, maybe doing local videos might be the way to go. And I've known Matt for several years now, 7-8 years now. Prime, we actually met at a panel at a comic convention. It was at Pensacon. I was doing a panel on YouTube actually, and just like the technicalities of YouTube, and kind of where I was at the point. And he was there watching that panel, and we talked a little bit after, became friendly. He offered to help with other things, with filming stuff. And at some point I needed help, and I reached out to him, and he was like, yeah, man, I can go do it. And he's always been down to help me with stuff. Even still, he's very self-sacrificing like that. He was like, yeah, man, whatever you need, I'm there. We'll do stuff, and as long as, I have the time to do it. And so we've been friends since then. Are you planning on doing Sinners with Matt at some point? I feel like that's a film he may like. I think he would like that one actually too. Super chat, thank you so much. $5 super chat. You have any thoughts on the casting for the Harry Potter show? Harry Potter show. As a huge fan of the books, it's baffling every casting choice is spot on except Snape. I hate to be so like apathetic. I just don't really care right now. That might change when I see the trailer. When I first saw Shala Ball, the female Silver Surfer, I was kind of the same way. I was just kind of indifferent. I was like, is this just kind of this is kind of where our culture is, just unnecessarily changing the gender of a character. And I know that she's in the comic as well. I was kind of indifferent. I don't like hate it or love it. I just kind of like whatever. But then I saw the movie and seeing her, and when I saw her in the trailer, I was kind of won over. I was like, oh, I loved the line delivery of "I herald his beginning, I herald your end, I herald Galactic." Like, I loved it. I thought it was great. So she really won me over. That may be the same thing with the Harry Potter casting, but I just think like it was done so well that I don't know what the need is for it. I don't know how you top it. And I've heard like one of the writers say they didn't even read some of the books in full, so that's a little scary. Yeah. Can you share the Discord link in chat? Yo, Darth Gus, good to see you, buddy. Darth Gus was one of our Spielberg tier. Yes, I'm trying to pull it up. I had to update it, and it's like taking forever. Oh, here we go. Finally. Sorry, guys. Sorry about the delay on that. Any minute now. Any second. Discord. It is Holden Hardman. Let me see if I can get the actual name for it. I think it's just Holden Hardman. Let's see. I feel like such an old person. Where would the link be, guys? Yeah, just try searching Holden Hardman. It might be on there. Again, don't get your hopes up. It's not very like active right now. Unless you can tell me how to share the link. I do like your mega church video exposing them. Would you react to the Righteous Gemstones TV show? I've actually seen a little bit of it. Profile. Let me see. Clicking my profile. Invite people. Boom. Or send server invite. Let's try this. Boom. Boom. There you go. Righteous Gemstones. Yeah, there's a fine line of like, because I am a Christian, of like, exposing a fraudulent church, because it makes all look bad for one thing. But also just like the mockery of the belief itself, there's a kind of a fine line. Like you're totally entitled to make fun of, Christianity and all that stuff. Not other religions apparently, but Christianity, for sure is definitely like a safe bet. And, I think it gets abused a little bit, too much because, and I'm sympathetic a little bit to some of the reasoning, it often gets conflated with like a political alignment as well. And so when you criticize Christianity, you're criticizing politics as well. And I think that's not always the best. You could have legitimate Christ followers that are Republican or Democrat, and Jesus himself isn't a Republican or Democrat. But yeah, so I don't know if Righteous Gemstones crosses that line, or not, but what I have seen, I like John Goodman a lot. I like what's the young guy who's in a lot of comedy stuff. He's in Workaholics. He's really, really funny. But yeah, I wouldn't mind. I would be willing to check it out though. Jen really wants to see Weapons, so we weren't going to react to it, but I think because she's really wanting to watch it, we might just end up doing that for content. Do you have anybody in mind to play Spider-Man in your movie? Yes, we've already cast him, and he's really excited. He's if you go to the actual campaign page, I put a pinned link above here. You can see what he looks like, and he's an American Ninja Warrior. He was like on the TV show. Um, oh, cool. We got Mac, a description there. You can see him in like one of his cosplay Spider-Man suits. He's going to do a great job. He's an actual actor too. So I'm really excited to work with him on that. $5 super chat. Thank you so much. As Nolan fans, what time is it? Almost 9 o'clock. I'm probably going to wrap up here, guys, in a second. But as Nolan fans, can you and Jen please react to The Prestige? We did The Prestige and other older Nolan movies. I think Jen had already seen Inception, so I don't think we ever did that one. Oh no, we did it on the channel. Yeah, in 2021 we did Inception. Memento, did we do that one together? No, I know that we both seen Memento though. I don't think we reacted to it, but yeah, we did The Prestige and we did Inception on the channel. They're older now. It's an older code set, but it checks out. And we did The Prestige in March of 2022. So, yeah, done. Wish granted. Man, the MCU religious ranting by those guys was so ridiculous. Oh, that was a good time, man. That was when I did My God in the MCU series. I did it on the main channel. We actually got into a pretty big back and forth. If you don't know what he's talking about, there's this channel, Little Light Studios. They were making these videos about how Marvel movies were demonic and anti-Christ and anti-God. And I did a series basically going point by point of everything that they would say and dismantling it from a Christian perspective. And I was probably a little too aggressive, probably a little too disrespectful at the time. If I were to go back, I'd probably be a little bit more tactful. I was kind of just, I was just being a little butthead about it. But anyway, they ended up flying me out to their studio, and we had like a 4-hour live stream talking about that stuff in real time. And that's like the first time I ever felt like, oh man, this is what real like YouTubers feel like flying out to places. Flew me economy on a horrible hour, and but yeah, that was cool. And we got into like a whole thing. They were talking about Superman, and we talked about Nietzsche and philosophy and secularism and Gnosticism, especially Gnosticism in mainstream movies and culture. So yeah, we went into like a bunch of stuff, and that was really, really cool. And I actually ended up liking hanging out with those guys. And I don't think we ever agreed on anything or a bunch of that stuff. Magic in movies, kind of the moral relativism that we're seeing kind of in culture shift to nowadays. And just relativism in general. There is no objective reality anymore. Reality is kind of whatever you want to make of it. And we talked a lot about that kind of stuff. So that was cool. Let's see. Anyway, so yeah, to your point, that was called God in the MCU. It was a really, really fun series that I did. Not a whole lot of views on it. I think there's actually a playlist for it if you want to. We talked about playlists earlier. If you actually want to watch it in chronological order. But that was cool. $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Love you, Holden. If you want to stream every once in a while, mix a streaming channel, then hit cut up the stream into clips, vids to upload to boost your algorithm. Positively is what these guys do. I did that on my last stream. I have a subscription to this thing called Opus Clips that I have used in the past, and I basically will upload the whole stream, and it'll pick clips for like suggested clips, and then I can kind of go in and refine them or edit them or whatever. And that seems to take a lot of the workload off of me. And I was doing it for some reactions, but reactions are harder for that kind of thing, unless there's like a specific part. But videos like this where I'm kind of talking generally, I was surprised about like some of the clips it pulled, because I was like, oh, that's actually pretty succinct, and it was edited pretty well. So anyway, yeah, I'll probably do that with more live streams. Yeah, and I'd love to do more live streams too. Hopefully we can get Jen on the next one too. Do you have any set times for live streams today? Because I live in England and never knew when you might stream unless I stay up late. Not right now, man. We were trying to do them like on Friday nights. I thought that was like a good time to do them. Friday nights, U.S. time or Central Standard Time. But just our lives are so chaotic with kids and things that we need. Like something as simple as like, oh, dang, I was going to do it tonight, but I actually have to go to the store, and I'll throw off throw it all off. We need to get something for tomorrow morning, So So no, it's kind of just whenever I get a chance. And I had a chance tonight, so I hopped on it. Was literally watching another channel reaction to The Prestige, and will look up yours. They pointed out something I never realized. The guy who tied the knot was apparently the twin brother. Yeah. Who tied the knot itself was the twin brother. I don't know about that. I'll have to look into that. I'm sorry. The one who tied the knot was the twin brother. Yes, because remember he would go back and forth between like, how do you not know what knot you tied? And he would say, I don't know, because he really didn't, because he wasn't the one who tied the knot. Yes, that checks out. Yes. Sorry. It's been a minute since I've seen that one. Yep, that's right. I would love to do Attack on Titan. Yes. American Pie reaction. That is actually on our list to do. American Pie. How cool would it be if we could duel on Master Duel? Talking about Yu-Gi-Oh? I'm so behind on Yu-Gi-Oh now, man. What's your thoughts on the new Clayface series coming out? There's been set pieces in my city of Liverpool. Oh, very cool. I don't know how the realism will work for his character. Don't ever let a set photo or anything like that make you think it's not going to be good. I think that's just kind of people not understanding how movies are made, because they'll see like a suit or somebody in a suit and like, oh, this looks awful, and when it's actually been produced, in post production and the way it's supposed to look, people are often surprised. But I have no emotional attachment to Clayface at all. He's kind of in the sense of the way Guardians of the Galaxy was, where they were sort of like D-list characters that were promoted to A-list characters because the movie was so good. So that might be James Gunn's MO with a character like Clayface. And maybe he's talented with that, taking these D-list, lesser-known characters like Clayface and making them popular. I mean, he did that with Peacemaker, or a character like Peacemaker, and made him really, really popular. Arun says it's supposed to be a movie, not a series. That's what I thought too. But yeah, I know Clayface from like the Teen Titans, so I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm open-minded, and James Gunn is good about doing that, but we'll see. Let's see here. The only reason I ask about your film is because Spider-Man Lotus, mostly I just Peter crying for an hour and a half. We need that action. Yeah, we're going to have Did you ask a question earlier? Let me see if I missed it. Is this Spider-Man film, is it going to be like Spider-Man Lotus? Is it? No. It's going to be an unapologetically Holden movie. I feel like sometimes I'll try and cater a little bit, or try and there's nothing wrong with this at all. And I'm not saying I'm not doing it fully, but just like playing it safe a little bit. And I think I'm just going to make it. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. This might be the only chance I'm going to have to make a Spider-Man anything. So I'm just going to make it my movie. I'm going to make it a movie that I would watch, that I'm interested in. And by that logic, hopefully there are other people who are interested in the take, the angle, the shooting, the story. And it's not going to be Peter crying the whole time. It is going to be a lot of internal stuff. There's two reasons for that. In fan films, budget is limited. So you can't do like extreme fight sequences or cinematics. You just can't, unless I'm surprised and I make 100,000 on this, then I could do that. So you have to compromise in that regard. But that being said, I have a wonderful team of VFX guys that are incredible. Tyler Adams in the chat right now, he's one of them, that like specialize in various like different ways. And I've kind of learned like where everyone kind of like the people I usually work with, where they really shine. And so we have like a great crew, and so we're going to have some cool visual effects. I'm going to make sure we have some action. We're doing 2 of them. Mine is going to be a little bit more like that. Tyler's is going to be a little bit more introspective, a little bit more of like a movie feel to it. A lot more interaction between like characters being fleshed out a little bit more. Mine's probably going to be quite a bit shorter than his, but we're going to produce them simultaneously. And so if you end up hating mine, you might end up liking that one, or if you hate that one, you might end up liking mine more. And we're gonna produce them at the same time, and basically have them finish roughly around the same time. So hopefully you won't have to wait forever after one to see the other. Are you allowed to say when the film might come out? We're anticipating probably like summer-ish. Again, a lot of it depends on how much we're actually able to raise. We're at like 13% right now. We have some time, but like a lot of it will depend on how much we're raising. As far as like what is going to be cut, what we are going to have to compromise on. Hopefully we can do it. And anyway, the plan is to like once we get paid out from that, we're immediately going to work on the VFX because like the full VFX scenes, so like all the swinging sequences, for example, some of the more ethereal things that are going to be in my Spider-Man short film, we're going to start working on because they take the longest. And we actually probably won't film it like boots on the ground until probably January. And but after that, it's just going to be post-production, editing and lining everything up, scoring it. We already have a couple guys lined up to score. Devin might even score some of it or all of it. Tyler's in the chat right now. They have a stunt team as well, working hard on making some sick fight scenes. So Tyler even now is working on doing pre-visualizations for fight sequences in his short film. So so we're going to be making it as best as we can. But but donate above it. All that to say, I would anticipate. I don't want to promise anything, but I would anticipate probably summer of like 2026. You'll probably end up with both. We won't release them simultaneously. We'll probably stagger. I don't know if we'll release his or mine first. We can decide later. But the plan is to get them done relatively closely together, so you'll get twice as much bang for your buck. Trying our best not to disappoint. There will be dope fight scenes. Somebody else mentioned Spider-Man Alone. I saw another trailer for Spider-Man fan movie recently. Yeah, Spider-Man Alone. We were aware of them because we released our crowdfunding like a week after theirs, and so we will see. Darth Gus, good to see you're still here, man. Too. We'll see what happens with that. I know that I was telling some of our guys that are in our group chat that it was like some of the numbers aren't adding up because they have like over a million views on their promotional video, but they're like the amount that they've raised is less than what we have raised with I have a pretty dedicated fan group, and I think I'm like one of the luckiest YouTubers in that regard because I have guys that have been sticking around for like years with me, and I'm super appreciative of all of them. So they help out a lot. But yeah, so their trailer has 1.4 million views 3 weeks ago, and last I saw for one thing, they're trying to raise $250,000. If I raise $250,000, I'll give you guys a feature film. Okay. And their link is not even, maybe their link is broken. I don't know. I'm trying to pull it up and it's like not, site can't be reached. $250,000. I think mine is a lot more like reasonable, feasible. It's a lot, but it's like been calculated, so that like that is our we're trying to raise like 31 grand. So like that is our best case. If I had it my way, everything I want to do, but I was very careful because like if we can't raise quite that much, I've got some like leeway. Like there are some things I can compromise on that won't really take away from like the whole overall experience. But 31 grand is like the most ideal. And then if we can go beyond that, anything beyond that is just going to make it even better. Like, cause we can do, like there's scenes we can add, like it really, like so much of it is tied to finance. And it's a good thing too. Like I like working with the team. I like working with VFX artists, and Tyler's bringing in his stunt guys, and I've never really worked with like a stunt group before, so that's going to be really cool for me. And just making sure everyone is paid and at least fed, and it's fun. It's a fun experience, and then hopefully making something that doesn't suck. Yeah, their Spider-Man Lotus link is Lotus. Their Spider-Man Alone link is not even working for me right now. I wonder if they pulled it. They were at like 1%. Like $250,000 is so much. It's so ambitious. Like, again, you give me $250,000, I'll make you a whole movie. We'll make a whole movie, man. Filming done? No. We've only filmed. We haven't finished crowdfunding for one thing. But we've only filmed one short like flashback scene. I'm gonna film one in a couple weeks. Another little flashback scene, something that I can realistically do right now. I don't need any crowdfunding. I don't need a big team to do. So I'm trying to knock those little things out while we're still crowdfunding. So yeah, Darth Gus says probably bots. That's what I was thinking too. Their comment section. I mean, the comment section seems to be pretty full. It's like 2,600 comments. That's a lot, and seems to equate to the view count. I'm trying to see it like if there any of them are like bot comments, but I would just be surprised. Like they're if we had a 1.4 million views on a trailer that was trying to crowdfund and like demonstrated a lot of our visual effects like on the front end, and people seeming really really stoked for it, I would expect that number to be higher at this point. So I don't know. I mean, no. In comparison, nobody watched my little promotional video. It's on our Kickstarter for people that are coming to it and they want to see just kind of a brief synopsis. But like in comparison to like other videos, I guess it's not too bad. It's like 60, almost 7,000 views. But like in comparison to like 100,000 views or their 1.4 million, the fact that we have surpassed them or had surpassed them, if I could see what their stuff is now, something's not lining up. Something's not adding up there. Yeah, they wanted to make it a series. Very ambitious. I kind of start smaller and then build as I go. I did that with Star Wars. Like when we did Star Wars, it was so much smaller in scale, especially that opening battle sequence. There's only like a handful of shots of like VFX shots we were going to do. And then as we were working on it, we were like, we could make this a little bit better. I could actually pay for this. And, and so it's usually better to start out small and then build, as opposed to being like, hey, I have such great ambition. I want to make this a series and, I want to raise all this money. I can make a movie with, my 31 grand and have it be good, but if I were to come out the gate with my, 300,000 subscribers and my, which subscriber count doesn't really matter all that much anymore. Being like, hey, I want to raise $250,000 and yeah, that's a hard sell. Left my fiance at the altar once I saw this notification. I don't know if it's worth it, man. $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Consider American Ultra with Kristen Stewart and Jesse Eisenberg. Rough reviews, but fun time. Maybe consider playing Detroit or Stanley Parable. I wanted to talk about Detroit Becoming Human. I've been wanting to play that. I actually have it. I got it on a sale or like it was like a game of the month or something. So I actually downloaded it. I have not seen American Ultra, but I'm familiar with the movie. I wouldn't mind checking it out for sure. But thank you so much for that super chat, man. I appreciate that. Odd choice for that foot contact on the roof in the trailer. The rest of the sequence was pretty neat. Yeah. Alone, that is. Yeah, I think so too. And people are typically more forgiving of fan films, like with special effects. They don't usually give them a pass, but they're like, if it looks bad, they're like, oh, it's a fan film. And, always want to try to do our best to circumvent that. There's like this, I don't know how to describe it, but there's like this line of like, you're amateur and, your stuff looks really amateur. And then like professional, like Hollywood level movie. And I feel like there's this line of like, you're clearly better than amateur, but we're not a multi-million-dollar Hollywood production. And so people don't know how to like critique or like review the movie in those terms. I think Star Wars is like a good example of that, where some of our shots I felt like were high, like Hollywood level, and some that suffered a little bit, that looked like our Vader, our second Vader. People were like, look at the fat Vader, that is clearly not as good. So they're, they want to critique it, and be mean like they are about any Hollywood movie or Star Wars in general, but they're also like, it's a fan film. So like we're at this weird line where we're not amateur, but we're not a multi-million-dollar production. And so, but the goal obviously is to make us look as professional, as indistinguishable from a multi-million-dollar movie as possible with our piddly little, amount that we can raise. Does that make sense? Hopefully I'm making sense in that regard. I'm trying to lose weight myself to fit into a Spider-Man costume. Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever fit into a Spider-Man costume ever again. I actually have a cosplay of Last Stand Spider-Man. It's Spider-Man. He wears like a leather jacket. It has like an all red mask and gloves. I actually cosplayed as him when I went to Spider-Man No Way Home. If you watch our trailer or our theater review of Spider-Man No Way Home, I wear it. But part of the reason for that is that I cannot fit into a Spider-Man suit, but I still want to cosplay Spider-Man. $10 super chat from Jacob. Thank you so much. Jacob's been a long-time supporter of the channel, patron for forever. Always jumps on these live streams when he gets a chance. So long-time fan of mine. I'm a long-time fan of his for being a fan and being so cool. He also helped out a lot with our renovation for the Papal House, which ended up being a huge blessing for them, a huge learning experience for me. Anyway, Jacob, have to head out. Congrats again on the baby, and really looking forward to the Spider-Man short. Well, thank you so much, Jacob. I appreciate that a lot. And hopefully I'll be able to make a Spider-Man movie that people will hopefully not hate. Hopefully won't look like crap and people will love. Yeah. Almost like the uncanny valley. Tough line to walk. Darth Gus, yeah, that's absolutely right. Absolutely right. And, it really, like, there's such a comparison of, like, the money that you have to make, to like, go into that. Like, there were so many things, even in Star Wars, that, like, I would have loved to have done better or polished or have even added that we just couldn't because we didn't have the money to do it, And that was self-funded. That was a big chunk of change. And that was definitely a passion project because I could not make money off of that. I didn't make anything from that. And it's like crossed 1 million views, which is incredible for me. I mean, I only have like a handful of videos that have even gotten close to 1 million views. So that was a big thing for me. Are you able to enjoy going to new movies when they drop in theaters, or is the possibility of a good reaction video make you have to wait to see it for that long? Oh, wait to see it for that. Thinking of movies like The Long Walk. Yes and no. There's some, for one thing, it's harder to go out to movies now in general. But yes, there are some movies that Superman and Fantastic Four are good examples where, Jen, I wanted to go see it in theaters. And part of it is also like the theater experience of seeing a superhero movie or something like that in theaters. So I don't want to miss out on that. And then not only that, but I'm in those circles just in social media and like in the social world. So those things will be spoiled for me. And so Jen doesn't care as much about that kind of thing. So if I can, if there's a movie I really want to see that I know will be a good reaction, I'll probably go see it with Matt or with Prime. If there's a movie that both Jen and I want to see, like that she wants to see as well, that will be good for a reaction, I will typically hold off for her so we can both experience that together. But for the most part, she's cool with me going and watching it on those, few occasions. Or there'll be movies that we don't think will do well or we're not planning to react to, and we'll just go to see a movie like that anyway. Weapons was actually like that. We wanted to go see Weapons in theaters. We just didn't get a chance to. But now we're probably going to do a reaction to it because Jen has since watched the trailer and has seen people talking about it. That's a movie she wants to see. So we'll probably do a reaction for that just because she wants to see it. You should cosplay Peter from Into the Spider-Verse with sweatpants. Yeah. Well, the thing is, he actually is still wearing his upper half is still his suit. It's the lower half that's the sweatpants. Will a studio give you a hard time legally with a fan film that's attached to a big IP like Spider-Man? Hopefully not. Well, we never got any notification from Star Wars. And I kind of looked at that and I never made money from it, which is usually their big thing. But because if you're going to sue me, you're going to sue for damages, So if I made a 1.4 million view video and I made, I don't even know what that would translate into for ad revenue. Let's just say for the sake of numbers, it was like $10,000 or something. I made 10 grand on that. They could sue me for that because that's their IP that I profited from. But I didn't make any money. So what damages are there? I very clearly state that it's a fan-made production. I'm not affiliated. So what are the damages? I didn't profit from it. But yeah, I mean, there's always that risk. But also I was like, hey, I've got Lucasfilm's attention. That's pretty cool. But nobody ever, it never became an issue. I know Star Wars Theory had his own like short film or something that got flagged or he got sued or I don't know what happened there. But that's my general MO, just to protect myself, legally. I'm just like, I'm not making money from it. I'm making no money. The crowdfunding money is for production. It's to make the thing. So we make no back end money on that for sure. But there's always a risk. I don't know what happened. Usually you get like a cease and desist, I think, before it's like, we're going to take you to court. So if that were to happen, I'll let you know. I'm trying to figure out what that leather jacket is called so I can look it up, look up patterns. I would just do Spider-Man Last Stand jacket and see what pops up. I'm David. Shout out from Mexico, my homeland. I'm a huge fan of your reactions. Hope you get your goal for your Spider-Man movie, and also wish you the best of luck for your baby's arrival next month. Thank you so much, David. I appreciate that and your kind words. Thank you. What do you think is the hardest part of directing a film? Is it the vision of the plot or getting the actors to portray what you think should be? That's a good question. I'm still learning. I'm not like coming in with tons of experience. I've never even been on like a real movie set. But what I have learned is that it's really hard to schedule with people that have lives. People have jobs. And like getting people to be able to commit to like coming out on a Saturday for all day to do me a favor. It's another reason like I need funds to like pay them, So like you're not just doing me favors. But scheduling has always been a big thing. And then I think a lot of creative people that I've talked to that try to make short films, they get really hung up on like their vision. So I've really tried not to be like pretentious in that regard of like, this is my vision for this movie. And, I definitely have like a way I want it to be and a way I want it to look and go. But things always happen not according to plan. Whether that's a scene's not working that I thought would work. Weather, it could, something as simple as weather not doing good. Like I wanted to extend the Vader versus Vader lightsaber fight in the Star Wars short. But trying to get those two Vader actors schedule a time where they could both come back to do that was a logistical nightmare. It's almost a miracle in and of itself getting actors together. So I wanted that fight scene to be way longer and we just couldn't do it. That's one of those things that's just like, I'm not going to not release it because it's not as long as I would have liked. But not being so attached to your own pretentiousness that you're not willing to adjust as needed. There are some times where people, when I've made shorts in the past, that they'll say, "Hey, what about this or what about that?" And there's a time to stick with your guns and be like, "No, we're going to do it the way it's written. We're going to do it the way that we're going to do it this way." And there are some times where you have to be like, you know what? That is a better idea. I think that actually would work better. That makes more sense in the continuity of the story we're telling. And then you adjust, you adjust as needed. So anyway, all that to say, the biggest problem is like getting the thing made, and just like that's why I say like it's hard enough just getting a movie made. It's harder even still to make a good movie. But I would say if you start it, just finish it. Even if it's crap, even if it's garbage, and it probably will be, just finish it. Just have a completed project under your belt. That's what I would suggest, and that's hard to do. Hopefully that makes sense. I saw Spider-Man 2.1 re-release in theaters. Don't worry, billion-dollar companies. We don't make money. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, guys, I'm probably going to wrap it up here. It's getting a little late on my end. A little late for me anyway. But this was a lot of fun. I enjoyed chatting with you guys. Ghostbusters will be up tomorrow on the channel. It's already on Patreon if you want to catch it a little early. We filmed Ghostbusters 2. It's not edited yet, but that will be coming down the line. We have filmed Baby Driver. That was a Spielberg tier. That will be coming soon. The full-length reaction is already on Patreon. The edited version is not done yet. I'm sorry, guys. I'm burping over here. And don't forget to check out the link for the Spider-Man Book of Peter campaign. Any support or contributions to that would be greatly appreciated. There are perks for that. It's not just giving me money. You'll get things for it. And I think it's a feasible goal. We're about 13% right now. We have 47 days left. And I'm trying not to be obnoxious about it, but I am going to be pushing it. It is something that I really want to do. And I would love to do it well. And hopefully it'll be something you'll enjoy too. But anyway, hopefully that sounds good. Thank you guys so much for all your support and for being here. Our live streams aren't hitting the major numbers they used to, but the good part about that is that hopefully you don't feel like you have to do a super chat just to get me to see your message anymore. I enjoy chatting with you guys. It's fun to just like connect on a non-video level, and I had a good time. Anyway, guys, I'll catch you in the next stream. All right, take care, everyone.